Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tamriel's Tales. Today we're reading Blessed Almalexia's Fables for Evening, the final fable book of 3 meant for Dunmeri children. So let's just go ahead and begin. Sothasil and the Stars. Young Sothasil lay upon a patch of moss and gazed up at the stars. Driven by his great love of maths, his mind turned to counting. I shall count every star and give each a name, he resolved. For hours he counted and named until, at length, his eyes tired and he drifted off to sleep. When morning came, Sothasil woke with a start and looked up at the sky. Alas, all the stars had vanished. He buried his face in his hands and began to weep. For he had learned a harsh lesson. You see, child, time cages all tasks. The strongest Nixox. A great Nixox trumpeted to its herd. None of you love the master more than I. Do you see what great burdens I bear? But you are twice our size, the lesser Nixoxen grumbled. Better for us to carry 4 bales of sultries than struggle with 6 and risk great injury. Bah, the mighty Nixox snorted. It's hard work you fear, not injury. The great beast took up its yoke and trudged out into the field. The lesser Nixoxen gathered by a fence and watched their mighty brother take up 2 bales of sultries, then 4 bales, then 6, 8, 10, until at last the great Nixox was laden with 12 full bales. Do you see, it said, straining for breath, none of you love the master more than I. Just then, the Nixox's shell began to crack under the weight. It let out a painful bellow and collapsed under the bales, crushed to death. The lesser Nixoxen sighed and shook their heads. Poor fool, he learned too late that there is no mortal strength without limits. The Tale of the Frozen Guar. A lonely guar struggled through the ashlands on a cold, moonless night. The wind was frosty and bitter and chilled the animal to the bone. Alas, it cried, I will die here, alone in the cold. Just then the guar caught sight of a faint orange glow in the distance. A campfire? It barked hopefully. It must be, it must be. The guar raced towards the light, its feet growing warmer with every step. Soon the cold gave way to a sweltering heat. The air grew thick and acrid, searing the guar's nostrils and lungs. But still, it hurried on, barking, It must be a campfire, it must be, it must be. Finally the guar reached the orange glow. Alas, it was not a campfire, but a great flow of lava. The guar, so seduced by the warmth, gave this trust no heed. It sprinted to the lava's edge and tripped on a loose stone. With one last joyful bark, the beast landed head first in the fiery liquid and died. So you see, child, a fool's thirst for safety carries its own risks. The Most Beautiful Netch. A netch mother once said to her calf, You, my darling, are the most beautiful netchling in all these isles. No bull is worthy of you. For years the netch's vanity grew. Many worthy bulls approached her with loving intent, but she rebuffed them all, saying, Do you not know that I am the most beautiful netch in all these isles? None of you are worthy of me. At length the netch grew old and weary. Alas, I shall die alone, she cried. A young netch couple passed her by, and sighed at her wretched condition. We must be cautious with our calves, the Betty said. Smothering a child with praise does nothing but harm. Thank you so much for listening today. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to support this podcast, maybe consider supporting my Ko-fi, Patreon, or Throne, all of which can be found by searching Tamriel with the extra LE at the end. If you're interested in watching the stories of the games, maybe check out my playthroughs on my YouTube, Tamriel. Or if you'd just like to see what I'm up to, you can find my Twitter and Instagram at xtamriel, just with the extra little X at the beginning. Thank you so much for listening again, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.